Yeah. Near the end.
We have to operate within the car. Good morning. Morning, y'all. How's everybody doing? Still.
Let's see it.
Right.
Oh, it's too high.
It's right here. So, I'm not gonna have. All right, welcome and happy Tuesday. All right.
Really, you don't.
Oh, the party is here. All right, we are, let's see, that's all we have. We have been here on the Zoom, and you as well, my friend. We're gonna get started. It is a cold-ish, rainy Tuesday. Captain's breakfast this morning, which was fantastic. Shout out to Mark and Mark for helping us with that. I think that was fantastic. We are going to get started right now. There's Ron's on the way in. There he is. There's our boy. All right. We're going to do our giveaways. Everybody register. Stay quiet today. Oh.
Why are you so aggressive?
Somebody named Jean. Somebody named Jean. Congratulations.
Gotta go to the car.
You got a good car. All right. Thank you for being here. All right, that is our kickoff, our giveaway, but now we're going to talk about what we're grateful for this week. I'll start. I'm grateful that it's raining outside. Because guess what happens when it rains outside? People stay inside when they answer their phone calls. In a lead generation business. Guess what? Fell short yesterday of my whole 76 contacts yesterday. It hurt. By the time I got done with it, I was ready to go home. I didn't get the 100, but I did make 76 contacts yesterday. So it's not as hard as it is. Not as hard as it is. That's true. It is as hard as it is. It took a lot, but I was grateful, and I think what I was left with in my gratitude is I'm grateful to now know that as bad as that was, I feel better today about my job. I feel better today about my activities. I feel better today that I actually did the work. So I went back and I read this thing in what we're choosing and what we're not choosing. So in my gratitude today, I'll just say this. I'm very grateful for the fact that we're surrounded by opportunities to be accountable to the activities that will make us successful. Does that make sense? I'm grateful today for the fact that I'm involved. I'm grateful for the fact that it's raining out. I'm grateful for the fact that y'all are here. So, how about you guys? What are you grateful for? Isaac.
I'm grateful that it's election day. We have
People that said that at the same time.
the ability to be able to vote. Benjamin Franklin said, "It is a republic and keep it," which is more than just the sense of the people, but the actual involvement of the people. So, I write people like vote sticker, people that got involved, getting the government we deserve.
Well, that's where it is a civic opportunity, responsibility to do that, and that's very cool. I appreciate you both. I'm thankful for that. I would like it to be moving along as quickly as possible so that Americans can stop being worried about whether or not they're going to have a place to live. So, yeah, anybody else? Grateful for today? Yep.
I'm just grateful that these classes, but it's nice, it's helpful, on my.
Thank you. You guys, Taylor, you guys met her, let's welcome Taylor. That you're here. And we'll keep helping, because there's a lot to, it's a journey, isn't it?
Craziness.
It is. All right, anyone else? All right, let's keep it moving. All right, today's team meeting is a good friend of mine. I'm grateful for what they do here, and I'm grateful for her. Come on down, Kayla. Kayla also brought something other than pizza. So today, hey, here's the thing, we love pizza. That's not an issue, but sometimes really good. Today we're gonna have all of it. So here you go, Barry.
Thank you. What a perfect day to have warm food. So, good morning. How are y'all doing?
Really good.
Sean, there is quite a few slides, just yeah, and they're all kind of talk about. Hi, hello, that's me. So in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we just wanted to take a minute and thank you all. Thank you for your support, your trust, your positivity, and a great shared workspace. It's nice that we are right down the hall from you guys, and we can answer any questions either for you guys, support you guys, and your son. So we're thankful for you. And okay, so if I raise a hand, who owns a primary residence? So he is currently continuing. So what I'm gonna ask is, do you guys know how to homestead your property? Or how do you know if your property is? County website. Okay. Correct. Do you know how to confirm? Anybody know how to confirm? Other than. The next one is your tax statement. It is going to show you. So you can review your property tax statement to confirm that your property is indeed a residential homestead. And this shows you exactly where on your statement. If your primary residence is purchased in the current year, you have to file not just your 12/31/24. Thank you. So last year, that is your last day homestead. Next. At least get the tax. Let me ask you a question about that before you talk. Yeah, I had a client years ago. Waterfront. And of course, did it. She got saddled with a higher taxes. So in that current year, they filed by the 31st. But for the whole year, and go back to homestead. You never have to, once you file it, it should stay with you, but are you saying should she go back? We did it. So Jen's asking for everyone online that if your client purchased a home and they did not homestead by 12/31 and they get hit with a higher tax bracket, then go back the next year, the year after, whatever it is. So the next year. Cover that whole year, so they don't get like a partial payment in between the time that it was homestead.
Some counties will allow a credit back 1 year. They will not go back more than 1 year, and not all counties will honor it, so they can request it at the county to see if they'll approve to get credit for the previous year. But if they homestead in the current year, it will be the next year that will be of homestead status.
Gotcha. I have worked with domestic properties that have been falsely homesteaded, like really obviously falsely homesteaded. The county can't go after those people years later, right? When they figure out that, wait a minute, you lived in Wisconsin, you didn't live in St. Paul. Okay, I just think, I tell people, like, don't mess with the IRS and don't mess with your property taxes.
Right, I mean, they could get busted if they're audited.
Yep.
If they are,
Answer to Jen's question again.
if your buyer forgets to homestead in here, then they can homestead for the next year. It will apply the next year. They can go to the county to request credit for the year that they forgot to homestead, but it may not be honored. And then if you are moving to another primary residence in the same county, then it will automatically non-homestead the same county, but if it's a different county, they typically will not know.
And our closers and coordinators for title advice, I am based at San Antonio. So, we like to provide value for you guys, and that was something that we kind of pride ourselves on, as we like to give back to you guys. We want to be a business without your business, so we like to provide value. Next, Sean, please. So what a great opportunity for you guys to reach out to the buyers that you had this year to complete a homestead application. Next, please. So if they have not received homestead confirmation, have them call their county. The property tax department, I'm sure they'll confident, to confirm their homestead application.
Not so different. Talk to me about that afterward.
I don't need to know.
Lottery in this country.
So we need to apply one homestead during the property ownership, during the year property ownership change. Oh, if your buyer purchases a home for a relative, they may relative. Like one question, and I'm gonna give it my hand, and then I'm probably gonna pass it to Britt for the answer.
Somebody buys a duplex and then lets their kids live there. Does the kid have to be in the title?
No.
I love the question. Thank you. I appreciate the question.
They will all have to apply together. But you would apply as the relative, the parents would apply as the owners.
So the kid does not have control of the property.
Just because the child is.
So what we can do to provide value for you guys is, if you want us to email you our homestead contract or contact list per county. So that way you can take that and use that as kind of your basic person email when you're reaching out to your buyers. Yes. I'm happy to do so, email that out. Kind of help you guys reach out to your buyers that bought this year and then ask them again if they have any.
No.
Oh, I do have one more question. Does anybody have interest in learning more about 31?
Was it 1031?
It makes sense.
Forest knows.
Was it 1031?
It's like an hour.
Well, you wanted to. You and I are, we just get to.
So someone has it's basically selling a property into and taking the gains from that property, buying another property to further capital.
There you go.
The presentation for an hour this morning on 1031 exchanges and it went way over my head. But another way we can add value to you guys is we can bring somebody in. We like to pair you with top talent in this industry and connect you with those people. So you don't just get to be a pretty face.
But you do it really well.
Again, we have website back for now.
I like how you defer to that. And we have a valid resolution. Thank you very much, Kayla. You are more than just a preface. Here's what I learned about what they just taught. It's important for you to have a resource and a go-to that you know, like, and trust, that can articulate what it is they do different than anybody else. So my request of you is find that conversation, that opportunity. There are things about our business that you don't know that prevent you from opportunities that you don't even know exist. So you guys check out 31 Exchanges is a really, really good way as you get more experience to help your audience or people avoid or postpone their tax obligations. So, all right, thank you, GNC team. We appreciate y'all. All right, Thanksgiving pie event. That is it. Just give me the color. All right, happy Thanksgiving. We are going to host our own little potluck. We've done this a couple of years. It's a really good way for us to connect and just be thankful and spend some time with one another the week of Thanksgiving. Yes. Okay, it's the week Friday. I don't know when Thanksgiving is. I know that there's a day on my calendar that says you don't have to go to the office. Right. All right, 11:19, you guys, we're gonna do it from 12:30 to 1:30. We'll be back here. Sign up. How many of you have signed up right now? Yeah. All right, check that out, you guys. There's a link where you can choose what you want. Meet and greet with Santa. How many of you have? How many of you were here last year and saw the Santa event? Ron, raise your hand wherever you are. Where you're too, brother. Yeah, Ron was here taking pictures of people were passing out in the hallway, and it was a long ass line. Grant was carrying her out, pick her up and carry her out. Breathe again. Not small.
That was my nephew.
Yeah, carried her out. And so there we go, you guys. It'll be a good day for everybody. That's what's gonna happen this year. But here's the other thing. It's just what Kayla just said about about your home. This is a really good way for you to do a really easy lunch. We have a ton of people here. It's a festive holiday environment. There are some kids. Mark, we're doing you're running around. I mean, good time, you guys, and community, the people that you invite really like it. So don't miss out on this year. What do we have? We have photos with Santa, there are games, snacks, giveaways, and much fun. You'll have enough Halloween candy to give away.
And you know, if you guys haven't been to the mall lately, what it costs for a Santa picture blew my mind. This is free for them.
Yeah, it's free. We have a great photographer, and we have a great Santa. Seriously, Santa came in and reminded us of who he was because we didn't have information. And the day that Kevin was like, so what did we do? In walks Santa. What's his name? Steve. Carrie. Oh, I'm sorry. There are children in here. His name is Santa. We're going. It's a really good opportunity, you guys. It's a way to connect with your clients. If you're not going to do this, what are you going to do? Come on, let's do it together. So, all right, that's our meet and greet. Check that out. So we can get started. All right, so here we go. Have an opportunity to discuss the 4 C's with a team. For reference, how many of you are familiar with the McKissick family, just by name? Okay, they're kind of in KW lore, right? They are a part of who and why we are KW the way we are today. But here's what they built. They went from $600,000 in debt after an event or investment that went sideways. So they were off from the start at $600,000. That's 35 years ago. Anybody who wasn't in the room, how much are they worth today? They were $600,000 in the hole. They had nothing left. They filed bankruptcy. How much do you think that they're worth today? Bigger. All right, one more. Okay, that's one bigger. $114 million. And on this slide deck, they show how it breaks down. Sean, don't worry, it's not that. It's a different slide. I only gave you two pictures. $114 million. These people got up and they explained to us that they weren't special. Probably a lie, but they are. What they did is they took $600,000 in debt and said, I need to take the first step to something different. They had lost everything they had. They had to take the first step. How many of you don't understand or can't conceptualize the difference between fear and courage? How many of you have gone and done something for the first time that when you started doing, you rode a motorcycle, you shot a gun, you climbed a rock wall, you went swimming, you went scuba diving. How many of you have done something for the first time and it felt like fear when you started? Does it not feel like fear? Right? Why do you keep doing it then when it comes to our business? Oftentimes, most of us have the idea, and I'm going to change that C for a second, because that idea, it starts as an idea. It's about where you want. Once you've identified that, you can commit to whatever that looks like. But the first step is really into fear. It doesn't feel like courage until after you've done it. Right? The first time that you went scuba diving, the first time you did something that you didn't think you could do, it didn't feel like courage. Courage is what we say we applied to get through it, but really what we did is we fought through the fear. I'm not good enough, I can't do this. I don't know this is for me. Once you've gotten that first step, you become capable, right? Do you have the capability to do this? Right? We'll talk about most of us in terms of real estate. I wanted to become a real estate agent. Why? I have my own ideas, right? I wanted to make money, a lot of money, and I wanted to have a lot of free time. Joke in there. And then I did it, right? Did it. I got started. I was still afraid, right? I was still worried about hearing no, still worried about rejection, right? But over time, your capability becomes better. You start to get good at the things that you need to get good at, right? How many of you are comfortable today are listening to presentation? Okay? How many of you feel comfortable with presentation? Open houses. But when you did it the first time, did it feel the same way? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to take a minute, and I want you, it's going to be weird because I'm going to have you to close your eyes, and I promise I'll. I want you to close your eyes for a minute. I want you to imagine where you were 10 years ago. And imagine what you've done in the last 10 years. I want you to really think about what that looks like, you guys. 10 years ago, you were at a place in your life where you wanted the opportunity you have today. Right? You sat in that moment and you said, if I only could do this, if I only knew this, if there were only less agents in the business, if there were only more opportunities. When you go from this moment, you guys, when you think about who that was, I want you to think about all that you've accomplished in the last 10 years. And I want you to go back to that person who didn't think that was sport, that was possible, right? So in the book 2x to 10x, give yourself permission to stop with this double, I'm just going to be in 10x, right? The life that you want legitimately, no bullshit, is right in front of you, right? Because here it is. There are people in this room and people in this building and people in this business that you see every day that have finally come to their fourth seat, right? But a lot of us get stuck where? Even on places, right? So there is a difference where some of us we get stuck in a cycle that benefits us and grows us, or we get thrown off into complacency. I would say that in most of my experiences, and I tracked this back as I read it, how many of us in the room are in Bullbright? Okay, so I went back and read my journal today, and a lot of them are about this, the specific. The number of times that I've chosen complacency. Why do you think I would choose complacency? Easy. Doesn't hurt much. Oh. Does complacency hurt more long term than actually people know? Yeah. Because I just had an agent I'm coaching right now say, I didn't do it and I just thought about doing it all day and I felt sick last night and I didn't do it. How many of you have felt that way where you told yourself I'm gonna do it? And then you think about doing it all day long and then you don't do it. So not only did you waste your entire day thinking about doing something that had you done it, probably would have taken you a prescribed amount of time, but you fall into complacency because it feels easier. I'm here to tell you, it's not. It hurts. Regret, shame of not doing, going home at the end of the day to somebody else, your partner, and saying, yeah, I worked all day. I didn't. Spent a lot of time doing this on my phone, hoping that somebody would be on the other end and want to talk to me. And so I just feel like shit. I feel like it can't be done. I don't want to do it. I'm afraid to do it. And then when I get back, I don't feel shame, frustration, right? How many of you felt that way? What is the only way we can get away from it? The thing. Anytime now, Robin, for 5 seconds, if you will, when you take your breath on that thing that you hate, when you're done with it, everything else still starts. I made, for Bolt 100, I made 76 calls. I made 76 contacts. As a team leader, I haven't had a singular day in my entire time here where I've had more than 40 contacts in a day. And I made 76 yesterday. What did that teach me? It teach me, and I could go back to work, taught me that I now have the confidence today, and I was excited to get on the phone and make calls. Why? Because the hardest part of my job is getting on the phone and saying, hi, my name is Nick Barrett. But the point is that's part of it, right? And so I want you guys to get into the C's. Remember, this first and the second C is not a C the way it starts. It starts here. It starts with I don't want to do this. I don't want to be hung up on. I don't want to be somebody to invalidate. Right? But when you get comfortable, you start to work on the activities, right? The capabilities, the things that make it so that you can actually say and do. You are their personal resource of choice, their economic resource of choice, their housing market resource of choice. But know this, if you're not tracking this, you're going to fall into complacency instead of confidence. Confidence means you're going to take that next step. Complacency means that you're going to stay on the same loop you've been, right? That same frustration, that same shame, that's the same lack of outcome is in that fourth C if it isn't in confidence. Right, guys? I just want to force this conversation. If you would like more, there's an entire presentation on this in the book 10X is easier than 2X. I think I have a copy left in my office too. 10X is easier than 2X. Guy's name is in here somewhere. All right, you can move on. Move on. All right. We would love to have you up.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Hi, my name is Ashley Trulson. I am out of the Maple Grove office, and MES made me come here and present to you today on Inspired Listing. So, I absolutely love Inspired Listing. I've been in the industry for 10 years, and an agent that I was working with at the time told me this is the quickest, best way to get business. So I went all in on Expired Listings, and she was right. So, who out of this group calls Expired? Did anybody? Nobody calls Expired. You guys? Nobody?
We have some people that want to.
Okay, we all Expired. I kid you not, it is the easiest, fastest way to get business. I kid you not. So, we're all gonna go to Vortex,
Okay, it's where I get my, expired phone numbers from. And you can sign up on a month to month. I do, quarterly, like $170 a quarter. And they provide you with names, addresses, phone numbers of all the expired listings. And do you guys get Mojo with your office? You do? Okay.
Well, they don't get more, we have access through the integration.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So you'll take those leads from Vortex and you'll upload them to Mojo or a dialing system. I pay, it's $150 a month, Mojo, for a 3-line dialer, which means that it dials 3 lines at a time. It is cheaper if you want to get a single line dialer. I think it's like
Yeah, $49, yep.
yeah. So, and I'm telling you, this investment will get return 10 times easy. So that's how you're gonna start. You're gonna get the expired phone numbers and you're gonna put them into the dialer. And I kid you not, it's the first thing that I do every morning, because you guys, that phone is so heavy. Yeah, in the morning for your first call. Like I get it. I go on, I upload my expired the first thing in the morning, I put it into the dialer, and I put my phone down. I'll put it even behind you, right? Because now you're on the dialer, like you're in. Put your phone behind you and leave it behind you. And then you're gonna go through your calls. You're gonna want a script, right, of what to say. Do you guys do the recon role play this morning?
You have it, you know.
So I would encourage you all to join that every morning at 8:30 in the morning, and it's hosted by Denny Grimes. He's amazing, and you'll have agents going on doing role plays of expired. But then that's gonna be the next thing. If you guys don't have expired scripts, I'm sure your team leader would be more than happy to send you an expired script.
I would absolutely love.
Perfect. So, your next step, you're gonna get an expired script. You are gonna write it out 10 times a day. You're gonna find a role play partner who you're gonna practice with. Because when you're on the phone dialing, you wanna know what to say, right? And so when I make that phone call, you know, ring, ring, hi, this is Patrick Wilson with Keller Williams. I see your house came off the market. I was curious, are you still interested in selling? Half the time they're gonna say yes, half the time they're gonna say no, okay? So, yes, I'm still interested in selling. Great, what had you moving in the first place? Then I always kind of go into the motivation piece, right? And I'll be scrolling through the pictures of the listing while I'm having a conversation with them. Because you'll have that MLS number from the Vortex lead, which is now in your cell, right? So you're gonna pull up the listing while you're on the phone with them. Half the time it's vacant, okay? So they had a renter in there that now isn't in there anymore. So now as I'm going through the pictures, I can kind of, okay, so what had you selling? And, you know, I'll kind of already see that it's vacant. Oh, well, you know, we're just seeing what we can get for it, or we had a renter in there. You know, obviously everybody's gonna be different on what they're willing to share with you about the property. That's your job then to dig, ask questions. Oh, and you know, I just said, oh, I see the property is vacant. You know, did you have a renter in there? Start digging, you know. I always ask for a time frame too. Okay, how soon do you want to get this property sold? Well, you know, we would have liked to have it sold 2 months ago, and perfect. Guess what? We could be in your area tonight. I can do it at 5 o'clock. I always then go for the close after you get into a little bit of motivation, then go for the close. If they give you pushback on that, then I'll circle back. Okay, so what went well with your last agent? You know, what were some things that went good? What were some things that you wish would have been different? And then that's the key. When you ask what could have been different, they're gonna start to give you a laundry list of things. They're unhappy with the other agent. Well, we only heard from one. How many times I've gotten, you guys, when I get it, when the house is selling, especially right now, that call is also very tough to make, to call your seller and be like, oh, we didn't get another offer. You know, that's hard. And a lot of agents in the business, they'll just stop calling. They will not even communicate with their clients anymore, so then they expire. And a lot of times, clients don't even know that the house is off the market. I've had a handful of phone calls. Hey, you know, I just like our book came off the market. What? Did it? I didn't know that. Hey, well, I can definitely tell you're not remembering that agent again. You know, like, you know, your house. Come on. So that's an easy plan, but back up. You know, so you can have these conversations and get deeper and deeper, and then again, just push for the hook. So get to know your script. Step one, practice. Go on the recon, role play at 8:30. They will also get you guys with the objection handlers too, especially with what's happening today. Because, you know, of course, it's holidays, right? So you're gonna get objections for, oh, I don't want my home on the market for the holiday. You know, so the time of the year, you're always gonna come across different objections. I would suggest to get some note cards and write out the objections that you are getting, because then you can practice that. I have some off days where it's like, I'll get the objection where it's like, oh, okay, I want to sell it on my own. And I'm like, what the heck did I just say? He's like, okay, retry, I'll redial that number, right? It's, okay, now I'm doing, the process, like copy this one just a little bit. Okay, so you want to sell it on your own, great, okay, are you willing to offer a buyer agent commission? Yeah, sure, we'll pay the 2.7. Okay, so you're gonna pay 2.7 to negotiate against you? Why wouldn't you pay the 2.7 for an agent to represent you and find you a buyer? Like, you know, so write the objections down that you're getting. And I always have these in front of me. I got them on the board. Because if you got them in front of you, it's okay to take a pause even, go to your notes, look at it, and then back with the response for the objection. And so this is very helpful as well. Practice as well. You're only gonna get 4 objections with expired. One is they're gonna say, I wanna try and sell it on my own. 2 is I'm gonna use the last agent that I worked with. 3 is I'm just taking it off the market for a while, or 4 is I've already found an agent. 4th one is, okay, if you've already found an agent, have you signed the paperwork yet? If the answer is no, perfect, haven't panicked. If it's yes, okay, fine. But you're only gonna get this, you're gonna get the same objection answer, so make sure that you know those. Okay, so that's gonna get you to your point. Do you have any questions so far? Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
We kind of talked about like. And then
It varies. It varies. I'm normally about a third to half of my business is expired. And I'm closing about 30 deals this year. I've got 10 and I've got 2 active right now. Okay. It's the easiest calls to make in the morning, and I will call them for 1 to 2 hours, and then I'll transition into the harder ones like the for sale by owner. Because those ones are a little bit harder, and then I'll circle to my FOIs and kind of end my day. Because I can stick it on that dialer and I can put that phone behind me and I can just like, honestly, sometimes I'll just put my feet up on my desk and wait for someone to answer the call. And yes, we're gonna go through a lot of phone numbers that are not the right number. I mean, that's probably the most frustrating part of it is, you know, you're gonna get a lot of wrong numbers. But then I have those people, hey, well, I have you on the phone, are you interested in buying, selling, or investing? Okay, that's cool. Do you know anybody that? I have had a couple of people say, oh, actually, my son is looking. You know, so use that opportunity as a conversation. But yeah, I don't have, I've been in Bitcoin for so long that it struggles between a third to about half. And we're closing about 10 mil, maybe 11.
Yeah, do you do any follow-up to those you don't get a hold of? Or is any,
Good call, but I do. Just put together a package that I'm gonna start mailing out. But that's right now. And the reason is because when I go to listing appointments, a lot of the others will say, oh, I received something in the mail from this person, that person. So you're probably better off to do it on the phone, and for me, mailing it, I like to watch my profit margin, to be honest, and I've met a lot of people who I haven't seen as much return as I get for. But I'm gonna start doing these things, but I have been expired so long. Unless I get this, she actually was her idea video, where it's got all the expired listings that I've taken, where I've actually been selling. So it's like proof in the pudding kind of. So I'm gonna actually start trying that here next year. do once they get in the door, okay? So you're gonna wanna print off their listing. And you're gonna go in, and your goal is to find the holes in the listing. They did not sell for one reason or another. A lot of times, of course, it's the price, right? You don't want to say that right out of the gate. A lot of times it's the condition of the property. A lot of times it is the market. So your job is to go in there, not back to the other agent. You don't want to go in there and say, oh, this agent did a crappy job, blah, blah, blah. Keep the other agent out of this, even if you know the agent, if you don't know the agent, your job is to simply just find the holes in the listing. So you're gonna walk through the property with them with this sheet, and you're gonna take notes as you're going through the house. Okay, so you walk through and, oh, gosh, you have a guest house? Okay, I didn't see that was on the left. Okay, oh, you got a master walk-in closet? Well, that's a big deal with some people, you know, and you're writing this stuff down as you go through the house, right? So now when you're sitting down at the table with them, you're able to pull up, and I do it, I pull up the last listing, and then my notes that I have, said, okay, here's just some of the things that I would do differently. A lot of times it's the staging too, and I have all the pictures printed out too with the last listing. Okay, so a lot of times they just simply did stage. The garbage is out, there's stuff on the counter, there's blankets on the couch, you know, so that's an easy fix. So go in there, okay, we're gonna restage this, we're gonna take your balances down, we're gonna take your curtains down, we're gonna make it look presentable. What do we have for condition? What repairs need to be done? You know, something as simple as paint, you know, carpet, stuff like that. And then last is the professional photography. A lot of times with expired listings, they're taking the pictures on the phone. Okay, I am very adamant about hiring, I use Spacecrafting, I've been using them for years. I'm very adamant about having a professional photographer come in and do the pictures. I'll have, before and after pictures of other listings that I've taken, the photos, and then it's the exact same shot with a professional photographer. So, show you guys this here. This is basically what. So once you sell one listing, then it's fine. Because it's like, figure one is expired, it's out, right? Okay, well now have to proof in the pudding to go to other expired. And that's how I start my presentation. This one in particular had sold, or excuse me, had expired 3 times on the market. They went on 2018, 2020, 2021. And they started on the market at $569. And they ended up dropping their price to $549. And I went through on this listing and I highlighted some of the holes in the listing. I was then able to go in and close it in 1 day at $625. So then I get told, well, how did you do that? Okay, well, here were the holes in 3 listings from 3 different agents that were missed. One of them was, they legit had a guest house, a separate guest house that was not marketed in any one of these. Like, and even, you know, you've got the outbuilding feature, the outbuilding guest house, missed on all of these. Simple things as a primary bedroom, missed. Primary main floor bedroom, missed. You know, so you can go through your features on other ones, because when I'm going to public these, is how buyers search for property, right? Such as a fully fenced in yard, walk-in closet. But you need to make sure that you have all of that accurate information in your listing so that you're not missing out on buyers, right? So that's what you're gonna do differently, is you're gonna make sure that you do have all that accurate information, so you do not miss out on a buyer. Another thing, you guys, is the agent remarks and the public remarks. It is such a crucial part of this, and there are so many people using ChatGPT, which I get it, I love it, but you gotta go through and you gotta put your spin on it, I think. My personal opinion. This listing has the exact same public remarks 3 different ones. 1921 Craftsman bungalow tastefully complemented with modern updating. Same thing. Nope, different agent. She literally copied and pasted it. Okay. It's like you guys have to get that buyer to the door. You have to keep them reading more. You have to keep them engaged so much that they want to don't. So I set it up with your, welcome to your enchanting home that's only walking distance from the area. Which one are you gonna see? 1921 Craftsman bungalow or this one that's blocked away from Lake Harriet? Bring out the strongest features that the property has to offer out of the gate. Same with your photos, right? It's going 50, right? You're gonna want to bid for that buyer, put your best foot forward with the listing, get the people in there, them reading, get them to put the channel development. Second thing, agent remarks. A lot of agents just put, as an can be verified by the body, right? You turn it, this one didn't even have it, but anything. For me, that's an opportunity for additional marketing. Help the agent help you sell the house. He listed this in the spring. A huge part that this seller loved about this house was the garden. They had perennial pots to that, but you could not do that. So I put that all in agent remarks. Your stunning yard offers a strawberry patch, hosta plants, perennials, and 5 raised flower beds. You guys help the other agent sell this house when they're there. Give them something that they can read to their buyers too, so that when they're going through on the showing, they're not gonna see that stuff in the winter. So use that. Use that to your advantage to market. Everyone gets first trust fund preferred. We understand buyers verify investment. Yeah, I get that. You can have that stuff in there, but have it at the bottom line, right? So here's 2 really big areas that you can make a difference in their listing too. You guys all have a marketing plan? Listing presentation? Yep. So once I get to this point, for what I would do differently, I will straight up ask, you want me to go through everything that I will do to market your house? Or you already have more confident at this point that I can sell your house? If you do not, there's 20% of them that say they want to go through my marketing plan. You know how much time that takes me? About a half an hour. I will ask them and they're just like, no, we're good to go. Perfect. All right, let's see if I can paperwork right now. You guys don't have to go through everything that you're gonna do to sell your house, unless they want to. And also I do offer, you know, if they want, I always send them this online. On your market. Them prior, so they can look through it online. If they have any questions, they can go through it. But yeah, give yourself a half an hour if they're already comfortable and confident with it. Questions? But is my market? Or what marketing plan? Nope. Think about it. That's a whole nother topic.
To work on this. When did you make the decision to work on expires as political?
Day one.
Day one.
I started in Utah. So I doing accounting out there. I had a friend that told me to get into real estate and I had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know anything. Didn't know SOI. I was literally going to garage sales. I'm like, okay, we're gonna garage sales, they're probably selling for house. They told me call your railway owners and expire. So I kept calling and I was like, okay, how many times have I done expired? I make that phone call to you, still interested in selling. Okay, great, I need to go over there today at 2. Okay. I literally have an active listing on the market right now. I have never met. I called and said, hey, are you still interested in selling? Yes, I am. Oh, great. Are you open to interviewing another week? Yep, that's just the other one. I know how soon you want to be on the market. Yesterday, I can send you the paperwork right now. Said, okay. Literally on the market right now. Is that but you have to get to the contact to get those gold nuggets, right? You're gonna have to go through the call.
You make the calls, right? How many did you make it? You said, 1 to 2 hours. Are you going for an out or are you just going for activity? Depends on the day, that's fair, that's fair.
Honestly, I try and keep it low. Try to do 2 hours, and it's about 5 to 6 contacts an hour. And I can normally get a solid listing appointment if I get the 2 hour day. Now, I had expired listings, I have about 3 this year that I sold that came from a year or 2 ago. Because a lot of it, of course, is in the follow-up. Okay, they still want to sell, but something happened in their life, whatever have you. And then you just follow up with them, because I guarantee you, nobody else is following up with expireds from a year or 2 or 3 ago. I think I went through the year that I called it 2018. That's close. And I actually had another expired listing. I called them, listed them. I had a buyer come through, unrepresented. Okay, now I've been working with this buyer, $1 million cash deal. I just got under contract on Sunday from this expired. So, and now I've got clients that were my buyers that are calling me. I have, another guy, I told him expired, and now after we went through that process, he mentioned, oh, by the way, actually, another house I want to do. I just wanted to see how. You guys, it's such old, it's old.
Well, I think from the comparison, from a differentiation standpoint, right? Most of the time that there's a cancellation or an expire, it's usually not ending great, right? So you immediately get to come in, as you identified, as where are these? You're not calling out the other agent, but there already is, in most cases, not all, a negative feeling toward that person. You just need to find the hole, and that's where you're going to find how they're going.
And a lot of it's communication, like a lot of them, they just weren't communicated with.
Probably what you're.
5 contacts an hour, all contacts are listed appointment, 23 contacts will be agent. Go on, they have listed like
Know your perfect six, right?
it's a number of days, guys. I had on my computer screen when I first started, every no gets you closer to a yes, right? It's like, once you figure out your numbers, okay, where's the gap? I mean, how many contacts that you're making an hour? It should be about 4 to 5 6. Is where you should, how many contacts to a listing appointment? I mean, great would be 10 to 12. I started out at about 20. Now I'm sitting about 12 contacts to a listing appointment. And how many contacts to a listing? I'm at 23. So I know if I'm getting 23 contacts, I should be getting a listing appointment. But, okay, I did 23 contacts today, I didn't get a listing appointment. Okay, well then tomorrow, I better get 2.
You said you use Vortex for your. Did you try any of the other ones? Or is that always?
That, I don't know. Or just from Red.
Yes.
It was expensive.
Yeah,
And I was getting the same.
or less, right? Which is a part of the process system that you build and build it. Okay, we can get this cheap. Any questions here? Last question for me, what advice would you give younger people about getting into the business?
Oh. Don't think to do it. I mean, there's been so many times where I'm sitting there, like, oh, I got that. You guys, it's like, eat that raw. Just get it done, and then what is it that, it's like, 37.
Doing the one thing that will make everything else
Easier or unnecessary.
necessary.
I'm always gonna do the mindset, just get it done, let it talk. Will you build that? What are you guys, it's the same business? It's like, okay, is this coffee with my friends for $10,000 that I can be taking on the phone? No, probably not. I'd rather make $10,000 and then they know have coffee. Figure out what's more important to you. But, and it's fun, I mean, now, I love making fire calls. It's gonna be fun too, once you know your script, you know your objection handlers. Like, I got my assistant, and now I have to keep me accountable, and like, every time you come to my office, I'm gonna make you call, that's $100 to you. But you know damn well, she's peeking her head in my office. I gotta play hard, like, it's fun. But, no, because these people have been, I mean, I have thrown almost all of that now. I have a guy named Jose, he was the hardest, his house was branding. I literally went in there, and it was the first time I told my husband, I don't think I'm gonna be able to sell this house. It was literally, like, he had to piece it together, right, and I was gonna be my actor job. Fast forward, I got it sold, he is now my #1 contractor. Him and I are like, he doesn't care, he goes and does all my handyman work. So it's like you're building these relationships to help grow your business too. I mean, think about the people like you can help that, you know, in return are gonna help you too. So make it fun. And you know what? Another thing, you guys are building your own tribe. There's some people that I walked into appointments and I was like, love you, but not enough to work with. You know, and get to that point where it's like, you want to be surrounded and work with people you want to work with.
Freedom is, what is it? Freedom is growth and purposeful honesty, right? And that is doing the thing, getting to it, and not lying to yourself. Okay. Well done, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. You're welcome. Good morning. Thank you very, very much.
Then you do call, and then I'll make you do phone call.
Well, I'm gonna call on somebody who's doing that is, an activity that at a different company, they charge $800 an hour to do. And literally, it's $800 an hour just to sit and listen to me. If you guys aren't gonna do that, I might even do that because that's, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Beth, from the Maple Grove team leader, got this different, her and I are gonna be jumping on all. Do this for your day. Talk about accountability, right? Let's go. All right, guys, G&T, thank you so much for lunch today, you guys. We have a really good lunch in the back, for Olive Garden. They have some if you are inclined. We'd love to have you. Otherwise, guys, have a kick-ass day. Go help somebody today. Go make it work.